The windshield journey continues, and today we have an INEOS Grenadier, which is a flat glass, and we're going to be installing the STEK DYNOtop on this bad boy. So this car is a little different than what we typically have. We normally do a lot of Teslas and EVs, but this is a really cool car. And one of the things about cars like this is an off-road vehicle, is that it has a very, very flat glass, and it's supposed to be for adventure, which means that rock chips can happen quite a bit on this flat glass right here. So we are going to be putting the windshield protection, which is STEK DYNOtop, and it is no shrink. You basically install it like PPF, but it was specifically designed for a windshield for clarity, but it typically lasts roughly about 12 months. It could last a little longer, but we're going to do certain things too to make sure that it lasts for as long as it can. This isn't necessarily a step-by-step video, but I'm sure you'll learn a thing or two about it. What we're going to do today is we have installed quite a bit of windshield protection, but we're going to follow it by the books of what STEK recommends. So just an overview, we already have it pre-cut. We actually designed the kit around this, so we don't have to do trimming, which makes it a little bit easier. But a couple things that we did a little differently is this trim sits on top of the glass, and it's basically inserted through pressure within the glass right here. So if you look closely up here, this is a very, very common tool in tint tools. Basically it's a soak rope, but we put it up there so we can wedge it, so we can get all the way to the edge, because I don't want it to like have a weird, awkward cutout right there. So that's what we did so far. You'll see it kind of protrude out. And then after we're done installing, after it's fully healed, we're gonna go ahead and put this back on, and it's not gonna be an issue. I don't recommend taking it out fully. It is actually just held by double-sided tape up here. And yes, you could reinstall it, but there's not really a need to. I think the silk rope is a good solution. So let's get started right here. So I'm gonna ask for help, but we have our solution right here, and we're using, before I get started, we're gonna be using our alcohol. You could use, STEK has a solution called, I think it's X oil, that basically removes the oil, or you could honestly use iso alcohol, and that does very, very similar, right? You're basically taking out the contaminants, just making sure the glass is absolutely clean. And one of the things that I'm looking at is already there are some minor chips on this car already, right here, right there. I mean, so this thing gets pretty battered significantly. So this is another big reason why windshield protection makes sense for cars like this. I think another comparison is going to be like Jeep, Broncos perhaps, and I think those will be a little bit more popular. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get all the oils. I'm going to go to the other side as well, making sure it's all fully clean. One factor too that I would advise is that right now it might feel dirty if you didn't clean the inside as well. So I mean, if you're installing, I'd highly recommend clean the inside windshield, because sometimes you'll be like, it might look like dirt, but it's really not. It's just the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and get the middle real quick, just making sure. And this has a really cool history, if you ever heard of it. It actually has the British flag and the German flag right here, and it's really neat. It's powered by BMW. The shifter is also BMW. So there's a lot of elements here that are unique to the INEOS right here. So now that it's all clean, we're gonna go ahead and spray it all down with what we call slip solution. Typically it's like a gel or like a soapy solution. We're gonna go ahead and just soak it all up. Also gonna go around it a little bit. It keeps the dirt down around your area. That's very important. I know it's a lot, but more the merrier, honestly. All right, so the next step is going to be, I'm gonna get some help real quick. And there's actually two liners. There's a top liner, and there's a adhesive liner. So obviously we're gonna go ahead and do the adhesive liner first. It's pretty crazy how much like windshield protection has come along. It's just, changed dramatically in the last, like, I would say 3 to 5 years. Sorry. It started out, honestly, like not even TPU based. So it was like tinting where you had to shrink it. So in this case, go ahead. You good? I'm gonna go ahead and go. Yep, and then try not to touch anything else. All right, go a little under, and then we're gonna go. There you go. There's a lot of room right there, so you can kind of pull it. There you go. Kind of move it in place. Okay. All right, so you can see right off the bat, you see some fingers. The beauty about the DYNOtop is honestly ease of install. I'm not gonna say brands, but there are other brands that you have to shrink, and those can be pretty difficult to install. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the liner now. So check this out. This is it's like PET liner right here. There we go, look at that. Now the clarity is there. And then you're gonna spray all across there.
Looks good.
So what I'm doing before I fully tack it in place is, I mean, we call it a bunch of stuff, but really you're just making sure that there's no areas that's just kind of in place right there. There's a little bit of a tack point down the middle, which we don't want. Okay, I think we're good. We're moving now. I want to go ahead and just start squeegeeing. Okay. This is a squeegee, I guess like, it's called a blue. I forgot what the blue thing is, but it's a very, very popular squeegee in the tinting community. So basically, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Honestly, this helps so much more if you have another friend on the other side already doing the same thing. I need more friends. Come on, help. If you're a subscriber, come help. Amazing. Okay. Then basically, the fun part, which is basically squeegeeing the rest of this out. What I did was I kind of started in the middle, and then the bottom is definitely a little easier. This squeegee is really useful because honestly you get in very weird angles. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Awesome. We're gonna go ahead and wipe it all down. Be incredibly careful when you get to the bottom. Notice how I'm not like going all the way out. And when you do go out, you have to make sure that you go out and not inside like that, because you might peel it. It's still very, very new right now. I mean, it hasn't had any opportunity to heal whatsoever. So you're just being incredibly careful right here. And now this car is ready for some adventure. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go from the inside and just inspect it. So from the inside, I just did a really quick wipe down. They say it takes about 1 to 3 days to actually completely dry out. So if you are at a shop, you definitely wanna keep it for at least another day after you install it. So you can make sure that you look at it and make sure that nothing's wrong with it, right? That's really what you're looking for. And then you basically let it finally cure, and then there will be slight haze in the beginning. But once you actually install it and it's all good, the haze should typically, or not, it's not even a haze, it might be a little bit of imperfections in a lot of that will come out. But if it's like a dirt imperfection, stuff like that aren't gonna come out, so make sure you do your prep well. So basically after this, all you need to do is install something like, they have this thing called Formula Quartz. This is installed very, very similar to any sort of ceramic coating that goes on a applicator, and it goes around, you let that cure, and then after that you wipe it down. And lastly, I just want to make sure I always replace the windshield wipers, because that is the #1 reason why this can fail a lot sooner than before. So go ahead, we're going to go ahead and get these new wipers. I don't know how old they are, they look perfectly fine, but we just don't want to risk it. It is the abrasive that goes on it. It will significantly lower the life of the film, so I highly recommend just putting on a new one, and that typically will help. So right off the bat, I mean, the clarity is pretty insane. It doesn't feel like imperfections, but you do have to be pretty strong when you do the squeegee. That is the only way to get all the water out. But right off the bat, it is super clear. I mean, when I looked inside, I'm gonna go ahead and just go inside real quick. I can look at it this way, and it's really hard to tell that there is a film on there. And that's impressive. I mean, most of the time when you I'll see a slight distortion when I look at it off angle. I wouldn't say there's none, right? I'm not gonna say that there's absolutely none, because you're still going through a thicker surface now, right? Whatever the glass thickness was, even if it's not coated, you'll see some of that. It's just what happens with refraction and how light passes through. However, I would say it's very, very minimal. Install wise, it was really easy. It was very, very similar to most of the ones that are shrink free. This is obviously an easier windshield to install just because of how flat it is. This is going to be the same for Jeeps. This is going to be the same for like Broncos, anything that's flat. What's even nice is I didn't even have to remove like the windshield wipers. Like we did one in the Model Y. That one, you still have to remove that. Not hard. It's still another removal thing that you have to worry about. So other than that, I would say install is actually fairly easy. If you have a friend, coworker, whatever, spouse, definitely get some help, because that will help a lot. It's kind of wide, right? It's like 60 inches wide or so it's just really hard to get. But that's pretty much sums it up. It's not very difficult, but I can't wait for this Grenadier to see some action. It already has seen quite a bit. But if you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. And if you want us to do other videos about windshield protection, let us know as well. We'll do our best to get, interesting content for you guys. See ya.